video, I'm going to talk about dimensional analysis. This seems to be a topic in chemistry that strikes fear into the heart of the students. I'm not exactly sure why. It is not a very scary concept or tool, but perhaps because it is a long name, it scares people off. Dimensional analysis is simply a way of taking one thing and converting it into something else, seen here in this cartoon. So in this video, I hope to define dimensional analysis, explain how it is used, give you the method of setting up and using dimensional analysis, and then walk through a simple example. Dimensional analysis, it's also called factor label method or the unit factor method, is simply a problem-solving method that relies on the fact that any expression can be multiplied by 1 without changing its value. We use it to convert a known quantity from one unit of measurement to another. Back to our example, we can start with feet and end up with meters. And I always tell my students to visualize a picket fence. You've got these horizontal lines crossed by the vertical lines. We're going to zero in on just one of those horizontal lines. I always tell them, you're not going to build it all at once. You're going to start one section at a time and only add sections as you need them as you go through the process. So here we have our picket fence. We have our horizontal line with our vertical lines. And this may be a new method or system that you have not used before, but I want you to realize that it is simply ratios or fractions. So we've got something in the numerator divided by something in the denominator. And this simple fraction or ratio, we are going to multiply it by other ratios that are equivalent to 1. So 4 over 4, 2 over 2, they look different, but they are both equal to 1. Okay, so we've got this fence. And the first section of the fence, we're going to put our given units, our quantity with the given units of measurement on top. And what we want to end up with on top at the very end of our fence is the units of measurement that we need. And when they set up problems, I tell them to visualize this, and I tell them that there are 3 things that they must always have in each section of the fence. We need to have an amount, a quantity. It is very important that we put down our unit of measurement. If I ask you to get me a glass of 5, you are going to say 5 what? 5 ounces? 5 cups? And exactly what do you want in that cup? What are you measuring? Juice? Milk? Okay, so these 3 things are important in each section of the fence. I tell them to keep track of the problem that they are trying to solve and write down any conversion factors or equalities that they know of. When they take a look at the problem that they are trying to solve, they are going to read it and underline the given. Then they are going to locate the unknown in the problem or what they're trying to solve for and circle it. And then they can go about setting up the dimensional analysis fence. So let's work through a simple problem. How many feet are in 36 inches? You might look at this and say, I don't need dimensional analysis to do this. I know that it is 3. I divide 36 by 12 and I get the answer 3. But for the sake of argument, let's just set this up in dimensional analysis so that we can see how to do it using a simple conversion. Here is our problem. And in our problem, we are going to underline our given, which is 36 inches. We're going to circle our unknown. Our unknown is feet. We are trying to get from inches to feet. And over here we have our known conversion factor. We know that 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. So we are going to set up that first section of our fence. And we are going to draw our vertical line. And we're going to write the amount, 36, and the unit of measurement that we begin with. In this problem, we do not have what we are measuring, so we do not need to put that down. Now in the second column, this has to be a ratio equal to 1. In other words, the top must equal the bottom. We are going to look at the unit of measurement we start with, and we are going to drag that unit of measurement down, here's the dragging, to the denominator in the next section of our fence. So the units of measurement that we are starting with is 36 inches. So we are going to write inches down here. Remember, we want to end up with the unit of measurement we're trying to get to on top. So we look up here and see if we have an equality between inches and feet. We do. So we can convert inches to feet. So we put this up here. And then we fill in the numbers accordingly. We know that 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. So now we have the unit of measurement that we're converting to up top. All right, we can go ahead and solve the problem. Notice that we have inches over inches. So that unit of measurement will cancel out. Now we're simply going to take all the values that are on the top of our fence, and we are going to multiply them. So 36 times 1 gives us 36. And that will be divided by everything multiplied together on the bottom. We don't have a number here, so all we have to do is put 12 down here. 36 divided by 12 is equal to 3. Inches have canceled out. We are left with the unit of measurement of feet, so the answer will be 3 feet. In the next few videos, we will move from this simple problem to more complicated problems using conversion factors that are specific to chemistry.